Hey, what's up at the YouTube? It's me, and I'm back again. And I kind of want to shine a light on a little situation that I'm pretty sure, hopefully, a lot of you have probably heard about by now. And it's the controversy with Rihanna in her Man Down video and the BET's choice of airing it during an episode of 106 in Park. When I first heard of the video being aired, it was, I believe, I was flipping through the channels. I think I saw it on CNN or something, and there was a guy on there speaking, saying that he thought it was paraphrasing a little bit on the situation, that it was distasteful, it was a little too much, and that the act of murder was cold blooded, and he couldn't understand why BET would take on this video and choose to air it during their network during their show, being that some of their viewers, and that it might actually cause a retaliation of sorts. And for those of you who haven't seen the video, I'll post a link below so you can see it, as well as some other blog sites that a friend of mine sent to me. Shout out to Lady Bijan. She's in a group on Facebook that sent it to me. So they gave me a lot more insight on the situation, as well as a little more on similar situations that deal with the subject matter. But in the video, there are two acts that really have been the center of controversy from parents and naysayers who want the video retracted from being aired, which is, there in the beginning there's a murder that takes place within a public place, I believe like somewhat of a train station or some kind of terminal or what of some matter, and which is a result of a retaliation of a form of sexual assault which takes place, that you will find out later on in the video. Not giving you too much about it, but you should check it out if you haven't, and you can kind of sum up your own idea of what you feel is, you know, about it, and your own thoughts. And I would love to hear any kind of feedback anybody else has to offer on it. But yeah, so and so like I believe at to this date, BET has offered a statement that they issued as a result of some of the naysayers about this, saying that they fully support Rihanna in their choice of airing this video, being that it is it they have their own standards and their own guidelines, and they believe that the video meets their standards and is acceptable upon their policy, and so therefore it is okay. Now, from seeing that, I think there are a few more networks. I'm not going to be like too specific. One in particular at the time when I reviewed the subject of was MTV, is still in, or has not, or had not chose to air the video, because they were still reviewing the video and making sure that it meets their policies and making sure that it is acceptable to show to their viewers on the network at this point in time, or at the point in time when I checked it. So yeah. So from that, it's been but the video itself has caused a lot of media backlash. Some people are going through, and there are a lot of Rihanna fans that are supporting her and that were issuing death threats. I do, like, at one point in time, Rihanna issued a tweet to her fans that she doesn't want them to, to kind of like cool down with the death threats. It's not cool about it, and somewhat, you like it, if we like it, they love it. They don't, and the world keeps turning somewhat, and which is understand, which hey, good job. I'm glad, and it's not that big of a deal if the video was somewhat, but there are a lot of people really saying that it's just not a positive image to be portrayed to our youth, and being that the situation in the society that we live in nowadays, that it could actually promote violence and sexual assault of some sort. And being that in this day and age in the community that we live in, I don't think, well, they were saying that they don't believe that it's a positive thing. Now, from this, I can understand why they would want to come and feel as though that this isn't the best way to go about it. and that for some viewers this may be seen a little too graphic for some of them to understand the full spectrum of what the video really details and what it consists of. But in total, as I looked at the whole thing, and I've been reviewing it after seeing it time and time again, I feel as though that it's um honestly have to say kudos to Rihanna. And I'm not the biggest Rihanna fan, and people that are in my personal circle know that I'm not the biggest Rihanna, but I must say the video is commendable, if nothing more, because it addresses a situation that a lot of us don't tend to want to talk about. It's being seen as very taboo within our community, that we don't like to talk about when experiences like this going on. A lot of women and survivors who encounter situations such as she did in her character does in the video, don't want to come out publicly and address this, being that from the backlash that they may take from their own society, from their parents or positive authorities, and that sometimes they being seen that their voices may not be heard, or being their statements may be recounted as seeing that it's not being true or false, or being that they bring it upon themselves, which actually produces a more of a negative or emotional damage and mental strain on the person than they already experienced. And so this is something, but in reality, I think it was a ri- risky subject to take on. But I must say, for Rihanna, and for an artist in general, to have your own voice and being boisterous, and being, I figured that it really to have to produce something of substance that too often nowadays in music we don't have. We don't like too often. There's no real subject matter in music, and this is probably one of the first times that I can honestly say that I've seen her take on something, you know, of this situation and handle it, and causing it, to spur so much dialogue, and whether it be negative or positive, is getting families, is getting individuals, is getting the community, is getting the media to talk about something that we typically do not like to address for some reason. And and in any case, I feel it could only be positive because it's inspiring dialogue. It inspires, we need to talk to our children. We need to talk to the generation. We need to get the message out there that, this is not okay. Regardless, though she herself, I think, believe after a while, issued a statement saying that she does not, promote or condone violence of any sort, even being a victim of assault. She doesn't condone, you know, violence in any sort or way, and you don't see her going up and killing by, again, paraphrasing, but yeah, that she feels though that it is important to address. Somewhat talking about, I feel as though in reality of the situation, in reality that we live in, it is sad to say, but I believe I seen um on some site, or a video I checked, I think it was Rosario Dawson, but I think with a post I'm going to post, a link that I'm going to post below, it addresses that 1 in 4 women will experience some form of sexual assault within a lifetime. Sad to say, but it's, you know, true, but statistically. And so with this video, it addresses how does one recuperate from experiencing a situation with this, and being a person who, knowing people of more than I'd like to count, have experienced some sort of like sexual assault or rape, or have some sort of relationship to the subject addressed in this video. It touches, a really sensitive subject, and I know it too often of a matter with them. It's being, it's been always been something that we don't like to talk about. Just, you keep it to yourselves, and they don't like to address it. But then in turn, when you're doing that, how do you get over the situation? How do you, you know, well, not necessarily get over, because I don't think in any sort of way a person will 100% really get over it, but how do they cope and get back to themselves doing this, and what you get to see a little bit of the effect from Rihanna in the video, or her character, as she starts off being a very confident, very airy, very carefree young lady, and as a result of this act taken against her, you see her a little depressed. She's not as beautiful. She's feeling like, you can see the guilt, you can see the shame a little bit on her, the hurt in the face, which is a really raw moment for her, and then which I haven't seen from her yet. So it's different to really see that from her as an artist. But I must say that it is very commendable for her to take on this subject matter, and I am, whether positive or negative, I'm glad that the subject is being pressed out there, because it is something that too often happens in our community, and a lot of people do not talk about and do not address head on, and it is something that unfortunately will be, some will deal with in the course of their lives in some way or another. So um it's just that I think that some of the negative controversy could have been tamed a little bit had BET or Rihanna or the network or whoever was behind the choice of airing the video during that point in time issued some sort of disclaimer, whether at the beginning or the end, or has some kind of dialogue before then saying that we do not endorse, you know, the graphic nature that is being displayed in this video, and possibly talking about it a little more, saying just that, or just warning the viewers that this may be a little much for some of the viewers, being that some of them may be a little young and won't be able to fully understand and digest the full concept of what this video is displaying. But overall, I think it was a tremendously within the community, and within for Rihanna as an artist to take on the situation, and our community get us to talking about this, because too often it is something that a lot of people deal with. And though I personally wouldn't let some of my younger cousins or my niece and nephew watch the video at this point in time, because one, they won't really understand, and it's like kind of opening up a box or a can of worms that you just won't be able to really comprehend at this point in time. But I do feel as though it is a great video, and it it's an artistic leap of some sort. So for those of you who haven't seen it, there are again, I'm gonna post the link below. I would love to hear what anybody has to say about it. To feedback, like dialogue. I do believe that, I don't think her intentions, what the video was, to promote any sort of violence or saying that retaliation is okay, but it's probably just kind of showing some sort of spectrum that this is what people go through. So, or some individuals may go through, and the thoughts that encourage their mind, and that how do we really handle this situation, and that this is something that needs to be addressed. But I would love to talk to anybody more about it. I would love to hear more feedback. If you have any video responses, comments, inbox me. You can hit me up on Facebook at Shani, the one and only, on Facebook right now, or whatever. And any kind of message that you want to, I would love to hear back comments and feedback, and I'll probably be following more of the situation to see how this all plays out. Again, kudos to Rihanna. And until then, like, I really want everybody, with the situation, to, be safe, and, be smart, and for, just to protect yourselves. And, let's really get about it in our community. Let's talk about the situation, because from this video, it has inspired that much, is to get us to talking about it. And that's one step that we need. So until then, peace out, y'all. Love, peace, and I'm out.